Israel and Iran at war. How it all began. It began as whispers, covert sabotage, suspicious assassinations, cyber intrusions. For years, Israel and Iran danced at the edge of open conflict, trading blows from the shadows. But now, in June 2025, that quiet war has exploded into full-scale confrontation. What we are witnessing isn't just another Middle East flashpoint. It is something far more dangerous. A clash between two powerful nations, steeped in mutual hostility and armed to the teeth, with the potential to drag the world into a wider crisis. So how did the streak become an ocean? To understand the current war, we have to rewind decades. Israel and Iran have been adversaries since the 1979 Iranian Revolution, which turned Iran from a Western ally into a theocratic state with a fierce anti-Israel ideology. Over the years, the animosity evolved beyond rhetoric. Iran funds and arms powerful groups that surround Israel: Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, and Shiite militias in Syria and Iraq. In response, Israel has carried out countless airstrikes on Iranian weapons convoys, drone factories, and missile depots. But nothing has shaped their relationship more than Iran's nuclear ambitions. Despite Tehran's insistence that its program is peaceful, Israel and much of the world has long suspected otherwise. With uranium enrichment levels creeping higher and international oversight weakening, Israel's fear of a nuclear-armed Iran has become existential. And that fear finally boiled over. On June 13, 2025, Israel launched what it called Operation Rising Lion, a massive coordinated strike deep inside Iranian territory. It was the largest Israeli military operation since the Yom Kippur War. Over 200 aircraft, drones, and cyber teams took part, targeting Iranian missile bases, IRGC command centers, and most provocatively, nuclear sites at Natanz and Isfahan. It wasn't just about buildings. Key figures in Iran's military and scientific community were reportedly killed. Sources say Mossad had operatives embedded on the ground to assist the strikes and sabotage air defenses from within. Some reports even claim Israel launched these attacks from secret forward bases in Iraq or Azerbaijan, though both countries have denied those claims. Iran's response came fast and hard. Within hours, Iranian missiles and drones were in the air. Tel Aviv, Haifa, and other major Israeli cities braced for impact. While Israel's Iron Dome and other air defense systems shut down most incoming threats, some missiles slipped through. Explosions rocked civilian neighborhoods, military sites, and intelligence facilities. The human cost has been painful on both sides. Israel has reported over 24 civilian deaths. Iran claims at least 224 of its civilians and military personnel have been killed, many during the air raids on Tehran and other cities. Footage from inside Iran shows panic in the streets, bomb shelters overflowing, and waves of residents fleeing the capital. The world began to realize that this wasn't just a temporary flare-up, it was war. This war doesn't just affect Iran and Israel. The entire Middle East is now at risk of sliding into chaos. In Gaza, Israeli airstrikes have intensified, sparking fears of another full-blown war with Hamas. In southern Lebanon, Hezbollah has begun firing rockets into northern Israel, raising the possibility of a second front. Iran has also threatened to target U.S. military bases in the Gulf if the war escalates further. Cyber warfare is ramping up too. Iran's Sepah Bank, reportedly tied to IRGC finances, was crippled by a cyber attack, believed to be Israeli in origin. Meanwhile, global oil prices have spiked as traders worry about the security of tankers in the Strait of Hormuz. Then there is the nuclear factor. Iran has warned that if Israel continues targeting its nuclear program, it may retaliate against Israel's own nuclear facilities, long rumored, though never confirmed, to exist in the Negev desert. This is a red line. If either side crosses it, the war could enter a terrifying new phase. In moments like this, the global superpowers usually try to calm the waters, but this time it is complicated. President Donald Trump, recently re-elected, left the G7 summit early to address the crisis. His message? Iran must never have a nuclear weapon, period. He has called for Americans in Iran to evacuate and refused to entertain a ceasefire unless Iran first halts all enrichment and missile production. France and the European Union have urged restraint, while Russia and China have warned of broader consequences if the war continues. So far, diplomacy is lagging behind the missiles. There are three possible outcomes. 1. Short-term military success, long-term uncertainty. If Israel's airstrikes have crippled Iran's missile and nuclear infrastructure, there could be a pause. But experts warn, Iran's capabilities are spread out and rebuilding is only a matter of time. 2. Expanded regional war. Hezbollah, the Houthis in Yemen, and Iraqi militias, all backed by Iran, could open new fronts. One missile landing in the wrong Gulf city could ignite something even bigger. 3. Back-channel diplomacy. There are whispers of quiet talks through Oman or Qatar. If the US pressures Israel to slow the tempo, and if Iran sees gains and returning to the nuclear deal table, there could be an off-ramp. But for now, none of that is visible on the horizon. Some conflicts are loud, others, like this one, split the earth slowly until the ground crumbles beneath our assumptions. That is where ATN 360 walks, with both eyes open.